Tonight, the Athletics get back one of their anchors. Shortstop Marcus Semien returns to the roster. Last year, Marcus showed off his power, slugging 27 home runs and knocking in 75 runs, and his defense drastically improved. Semien will be a welcome sight to a team that is looking for some consistency. The East Bay native will no doubt be eager to get back to the diamond and help his team succeed. It's an exciting time in Oakland, and Marcus Semien is a main piece to the future of the A's success. Marcus and the A's travel to Seattle to open up a 4-game set, and it starts right now. Beautiful night for baseball in a beautiful city. We're in Seattle, Washington. It's the final series before the All-Star break. How about that, folks? We get to see Marcus Semien tonight back in the lineup. That is good news, and that's Paul Blackburn. He's going to get his second big league start tonight. It's the Oakland A's and the Seattle Mariners coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. We've spent a lot of time last month talking about the young players, and Ray, should not forget about Marcus Semien, because he's a young player, but he's also been very productive early on in his career, and boy, it's great to have him back.
How about 27 home runs as a shortstop in Major League Baseball? That's special in itself, which makes people think about maybe he could play another position, but right now he's a shortstop. He's doing a great job swinging about. You get 27 bombs as a shortstop. That's tremendous. You're playing some great defense. He is back, but one thing that he has proven, it's tough to play this game when you're healthy. He was healthy last year when he hit the 27, but he had the injury to his right hand. He tried to play through it, ended up having surgery. He is back now, but you cannot play this game if you're hurt. I think Marcus Semien proved that with his injury.
All right, tonight we get to see Paul Blackburn for the second time, and Ray, I think he pitched so well in his Major League debut that the A's said, hey, let's take a look at this kid, and they sent Jesse Hahn back to the minor leagues.
And you think about the introduction, his family in the house. He got a great introduction from Dick Callahan. He was nervous before he took the mound, but did a great job. 6 innings of baseball, pitching great, gave up 1 unearned run, had a great breaking ball working. He pitched very effectively in front of a lot of family and friends, and I think that makes it special for the young man. And like you said, he's in the rotation, and maybe for a long time.
Well, the Mariners have their rookie going as well. Sam Gaviglio, who's pitched pretty well as a fill-in in this Mariners rotation that's kind of beat up, but the young man's pitched pretty well. A's will see him for the first time. Up next, we'll check back into the A's pregame live studios and then back to Safeco Field. On a gorgeous night for baseball, it's the A's and the Mariners. We'll have lineups and first pitch coming up.
Sports California is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Jack in the Box. Come try the new sweet or spicy barbecue bacon cheeseburger and chicken sandwich. Limited time only.
So the Mariners are set to take the field. That is their starting pitcher tonight, the rookie Sam Gaviglio. And it is a gorgeous night here in Seattle. Boy, what a great time of year to be in this great city. And I'll tell you how great the weather is right here. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. It's 80 degrees. Look at the humidity. Nice and low and just nice breeze. So we've been here, Ray, in the early part of the season when it's pretty cool, and in September, well, it's getting very fallish here. But boy, you come here this time of year, you just can't beat the weather.
This is perfect, and the A's hope to play perfect baseball the next 4 games because both clubs want to play well leading into the All-Star break, which starts Monday after the Sunday series finale.
Starting lineup for the A's, it's brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and here it is, Matt Joyce. And then we're psyched to see Marcus Semien back, and that's always good news. Yonder Alonso hits third, then Davis, Lowry, Healy's back in there as well. Maxwell, Chapman, and Brugman round out the A's starting lineup.
Sam Gaviglio is the starting pitcher for the Seattle Mariners. A's seeing him for the first time as he's making just his 10th major league start, and that will be against the Athletics tonight. Compliments 4 pitches, but does not throw extremely hard, but pretty good control according to what we're told. Just 16 walks in 51 2/3 innings. So if he gives good pitches to hit, maybe the A's can take advantage of those tonight.
Defensively for the Mariners, they have Ben Gamel in left, Gerard Dyson in center, Mitch Haniger is in right, Seager, Segura, Cano, Valencia. It's a pretty good infield. And Mike Zunino, he of the terrific month of June, is behind the plate. So Gaviglio has finished up his warm-up tosses, and here is Matt Joyce stepping in the box. So we're set to go. A little bit of sunshine in right field and kind of a strip of sunshine right where Gerard Dyson is playing, but that'll be gone soon. It's not going to be a real big crowd tonight, but they're going to be comfortable as they sit back and watch the A's and the Mariners. And final series before the All-Star break.
And if you hear any dogs barking, it's because it's bark at the park tonight. It'll be the same at the Coliseum a week from tomorrow night, the 14th, when the Tribe comes in.
So 7-11 first pitch, and the first pitch of the game is a strike to Matt Joyce.
77 degrees.
Matt Joyce sitting 222, 11 home runs, 33 runs batted in. There's your umpires. That's Mark Carlson calling balls and strikes. Chris Siegel, C.B. Bucknor, and Fieldon Culberth, who is the crew chief. He is down at third base. So a quick 0-2 to Joyce. This one's looped into shallow center field. Dyson's not going to get it, and it's going to drop for a hit. So Matt Joyce opens the game with a bloop single. The A's will take it.
Gaviglio trying to get inside, and Matt Joyce just muscled it out to center field. And if you don't throw hard on a ball like this, instead of going to the second baseman, gets into the outfield. And as a result, the A's get a leadoff hit on a 2-strike pitch. Again, if you had pretty good control, it means you're going to be around the plate, which helps the hitter as well.
So here's Marcus Semien. First pitch is a little bit low. Semien, before he went on the disabled list, had played in 11 games with 35 at-bats.
Well, you can see the numbers for Marcus Semien, and tried to play through what turned out to be a broken hand. You just can't do it. It's tough to play the game. And so we welcome him back. He's going to play 4 games, or at least be available for 4 games. You get 4 days off for the All-Star break.
So with Marcus Semien coming off the disabled list, Jarrell Cotton went back on the disabled list with that blister.
Well, the trig to the 60-day, that's not good, although he's been on the DL for quite a while. But still, his hip has been bothering him to the point that who knows what happens or what will happen to him.
Well, Jarrell Cotton was scheduled to start on Saturday here in Seattle, and Obviously, he will not make that start. The A's will go to the minor leagues and call up Chris Smith, who we saw last year pitch out of the A's bullpen. So Chris Smith is scheduled to make the start. Bob Melvin, 499 wins as a manager of the A's, 992 career wins as a manager. So he's closing in on a couple of nice milestones, one with the A's and one in his career.
Started right here in Seattle.
We tell Bob that. Say, Bob, what were the Mariners thinking letting you go? He just kind of looks away.
Now, he said there's going to be no batting practice tomorrow. He said, guys, take a little bit longer, enjoy the city. He said, you going to do that too? He says, yeah, I'll be about 1 o'clock. So that's 6 hours before a game. That's late for him. There's your All-Star representative. He'll be heading to Miami following the game on Sunday. Nelson Cruz, the rep for the Seattle Mariners. You know, everybody's talking about if Felix Hernandez had made the team, he would have chartered his own plane and everybody could have gone. But since he's not on the team, now the other guys have to fend for themselves. Nick Paparesta, who's the trainer, will be heading out on Sunday morning.
A little bit high, and Marcus Semien in his first at bat off the disabled. He takes the walk, so the A's got something going here in the very first inning. Well, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go.
Well, Miranda, the starting pitcher last night, had a tough first inning against the Mariners. They ended up tying, and then Salvador Perez hit an opposite field 2-run home run in the extra innings to win it. But tonight, A's hope they can also get on the board early before Blackburn takes them out.
So here is Yonder Alonso. First pitch down the right field line, and that's fair. Joyce is going to score easily. Here comes Marcus Semien, and Scarsoni holds him up. And it's an RBI double for Yonder Alonso, and the A's do grab that early lead, 1-0.
Well, you could hear the sound of the bat almost like it was in the end or broke his bat, but perfectly placed down in the right field corner, gets a double. And for Steve Scarsoni, that pitch right in the middle of the plate, off-speed pitch, and maybe just a little bit out in front. You can hear the crack of the bat. But Yonder gets a double, 1 run driven in. And because nobody out, Matt Joyce going to score easily. But for Steve Scarsoni, you can say, well, why didn't it seem Marcus Semien? There's nobody out. And second and third, if you can't score, nobody out with this part of the batting order coming up, then it's not going to be on the third base coach.
So here's Chris Davis. Our pitchcast tonight is brought to you by PenFed Credit Union.
As you always say, infield is back, so a productive out could be very beneficial for the Athletics. For Chris Davis, anybody but the pitcher and any place in the outfield, you figure it's going to score at least 1.
Swings and misses, so now it's 0-2. For Alonso, that was his 42nd RBI of the year. Gavilio kicks and fires, and Chris Davis could not hold up. He went around on a pitch that was well off the plate outside. So Gavilio needed a strikeout, and he got it.
Well, he just stayed outside. That's Mike Zunino, the catcher. Just stays out farther, and off-speed pitch. He checked up and went too far. That was called by Mark Carlson, the home plate umpire. So Jed Lowry has a chance to do the same thing.
Well, our first look at Sam Gavilio, and that's the breakdown. 59% fastballs, decent amount of sliders at 22%, so he's got all 4 pitches. That one is belted to right field by Lowry, and that baby bounces off the wall. 1 run scores. Here comes Yonder Alonso. He's hustling home. He's going to make it, and it's a 2-run double for Jed Lowry, and it's a 3-0 lead for the A's.
Jed, a big 2-run single yesterday, and already Mel Stoudemire Jr. is going out to visit as we congratulate Jed Lowry on his 200th career double. And it drives in a couple of runs, but that's not surprising. I mean, he's a doubles machine. And the first offering, again, off speed, 80 miles per hour, stayed up. And Jed Lowry, and you know the old saying, Kai, if you throw a changeup first pitch, what does a hitter have to go against? I mean, he's seeing the pitch for the first time. They've never seen Gaviglio, and he throws a changeup at 80. It's like batting practice. You throw a fastball, then a changeup. There's a little bit of differential, but for Jed Lowry, he saw the first offering, jumped on it.
So doubles before the All-Star break in Oakland A's history. Wow. Jed Lowry, the most. How about that?
Still has this game +3. That's good. More importantly, he got the 2 runners in, and A's are able to put a 3 spot up at least on the first inning.
And here's Healy. So a single, 2 doubles, and a walk. And the A's have 3 runs for Paul Blackburn.
Okay, probably maybe the most important at bat was Marcus Semien. To have time off on the disabled list, but the rehab assignment, very beneficial for him to be able to get some quality at bats at the minor league level.
Good to have Ryan Healy back. Back spasms right where he's pointing, kind of the left side, middle of the back. That was on Sunday. So he did not play in the White Sox series. He's back in there DHing.
Well, you think of spasms as maybe kind of a temporary. I think it's a little bit more than that. He was feeling it. He said even the Houston series when they A's played the Astros at the Coliseum, similar to Chad Pender in his hamstring.
Well, I guess they're temporary in the fact that they do eventually go away, but it's not immediate. And another walk. So a 4-pitch walk to Healy. Still only 1 out here in the first inning.
Well, they were talking, the Mariners were, about when the A's came in to play Seattle towards the end of the season. And of course, the Mariners had to win out to at least qualify for the wild card. And the A's did beat them. I think it was game 161. And Mariners trying to at least advance to the wild card representation, and they're thinking this would be the way to do it against the Athletics. Starting out tonight, they're starting out rather poorly, so the A's just need to keep adding on.
So here's Maxwell hitting .291 with 5 RBIs. 16 hits for Maxwell. He's got 3 doubles. And that's in the dirt, and it's 2-0.
Well, we talk about his opposite field hitting. Bruce Maxwell went oppo yesterday. And that was over Cabrera's head in left field at the Coliseum against the White Sox, and that would bring in a couple of runs. He also said his head was hurting, where he got banged up a little bit. Got on the plane early and just put his head back, and I said, "How's your head?" And he said, "Not good," but in there anyway.
Matt Chapman is the on-deck hitter. 7th man to bat in the inning. Just missed. 3-1. Post pitch.
Two-seamer did not come back enough for Mr. Carlson, home plate umpire, as he was on the right shoulder of Mike Zunino.
Maxwell after a pretty hittable pitch, up and out over the plate. So the count is full. Dyson, the center fielder, shifted over toward left center. And he knows the scouting report on Maxwell. Maxwell drives one toward left. Gamble backs up. Gamble waits, and he's got it. So 2 outs here in the first inning. And he'll bring up Matt Chapman. Gaviglio would like to start this one over. He has not been sharp in the early going.
You saw the Astros with so many guys filling in for injured players. Iwakuma, one for the Mariners. Felix Hernandez is back. At one time they had 4 of their 5 starters in the rotation on the disabled list.
Iwakuma still out. Gallardo is in the bullpen, and Smiley is having Tommy John surgery. So it's not the planned rotation for the Seattle Mariners. They do have Paxton back, and they do have Felix Hernandez back from the disabled list. There's a strike and it's 0-2. So they're doing it with some rookies. And Gaviglio is one of them.
Well, the Astros can afford to do it because they have the offense and a huge lead. But there's the most starting pitchers used.
Wow. 13 of them. 1-3.
And the Royals just in town. They're down in Southern California now. They have 11, but they keep winning. As they did last night.
So 27 pitches for Gaviglio. Mario Miranda, youngster in the starting rotation. Andrew Moore, who the A's will see later on in the series, he's a rookie in the starting rotation, and Gaviglio. And that one just missed a little bit off the plate, maybe 2-2.
You know what Mark Carlson, the home plate umpire, is doing? What umpires should be doing is saying, if you can't throw a strike, I'm not going to help you. And really 2 pitches, one on the inside and this one on the outside, maybe just so off, and we have seen it called before. And it looked like both Gaviglio and Zunino wanted it. But I've had umpires tell me, throw strikes, I'll call it.
Missed again. Now it's 3-2. So the runners will take off with 2 outs. Lowry's at second, Healy's at first.
You said that 15 times yesterday.
3-2.
And it's already 3 times today.
3 times already? I'm trying to forget about the 3-2 count. I can't help it.
Simeon, Maxwell, and now Chapman. And
Healy was 3 coming up.
Healy was 3-0.
Runners go, and the pitch is popped up. Just a little shallow pop-up. Seager hustles in, makes the catch, side retired. But the A's do some early damage. They get 3 runs on 3 hits and a couple of walks in the top of the first. Lineup for the Seattle Mariners, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Here it is: Gene Segura hitting .343, Ben Gamel hitting .335, then Cano, Cruz, Seager, the normal big 3 in the middle, Valencia, Haniger, Dyson, and Zunino. That's your Mariners starting lineup.
Paul Blackburn will take the mound for his 2nd major league start. The first coming over the weekend against the Braves. Did quite well. 6 innings of really not allowing an earned run, just 1 unearned run. 3 hits, a walk, and 4 strikeouts, and threw some quality pitches. A bit more relaxed tonight, although that was in front of family and friends at the Coliseum, growing up in the area. But tonight it's against his former team, so maybe a little bit added incentive for him tonight, or at least added nerves, because who knows what will happen. But he's happy to be on the mound for his second start. At one time, it was thought maybe it would be just a one start and back.
It was November 12th when the Mariners and the A's made the trade Danny Valencia for Paul Blackburn. Straight up, even up deal. Mariners wanted somebody to play first base. The A's had a guy, and they wanted a young pitcher, and they got Blackburn in return. And Valencia's had a pretty good year for the Mariners, playing every day at first. Valencia hitting in the 6th spot in this Mariners lineup. 1-2 pitch to Segura. Fouls it off his foot.
Good sinker inside from Blackburn, just enough to hit straight down by Segura off the top of his right foot, or his left foot.
Heritage High School in Brentwood.
Dick Callahan said everything that you're seeing right there. Birthplace Antioch High School, Brentwood, Heritage High School, making his major league debut.
I know some good people who live in Brentwood.
Yeah, I do too. You probably go there to get your fruits and vegetables, right?
Oh, all the time. Best cherries in town.
That's right. You get them from Delaire?
Nope. 2-2 the count to Gene Segura. Blackburn 6'1", 185 pounds. He's just 23 years old. Close pitch. And now a full count to Segura with Gamble to follow.
I think the Mariners did last night when they trailed 4-0 in the first. They came back and scored in the bottom of the first. And that's one thing you do as a pitcher. You get a runs or support.
A little flare, and that one's going to fall. So Segura on a 3-2 pitch drops a single into center field. A's defense tonight has Chris Davis in left, Jacob Brugman in center, Matt Joyce in right, Chapman, Simeon, Lowry, and Alonso on the infield, and Maxwell is your catcher. So the A's open their half of the first with a bloop single. The Mariners do the same in the bottom of the first. Here's Ben Gamble. Ben Gamble's becoming quite a story for the Seattle Mariners, getting a chance to play pretty much every day. He is leading the American League in hitting. 335. I'm not lying. 335. Grounds this one right to Lowry. Simeon to first. Got him. 4-6-3 double play. 2 outs on a very close play at first. Gamble's walking back to the dugout, so he's thinking that he was out, and I think he was on a close play. Let's check.
And Scott Serva saying, hold on just a second. It looks like the ball's in the glove. Not going to challenge it maybe in this early in the game. He is not quite there. Play ball. And I guessed 50 of them. I couldn't come up with Gamble's name yesterday when you asked me.
You would have. I just didn't give you enough time.
No.
You would have come up.
Well, Marcus Simeon not only first at bat walk, scores a run. Second batter for the Mariners, ground ball turns a double play. So he's involved very quickly, and that's a good idea. Get them all out of the way.
Yeah, and get guys off the bases when
that's right.
The middle of the order comes up for the Mariners. It's a very good middle of the order. Cano always hits third. Cruz always hits fourth. Seager always hits fifth.
And I'm surprised this guy is not going to Miami.
Yeah, he's having a great season. Probably his best season
right.
in Seattle.
He's healthy, which he's been healthy for a couple of years now. But 17-60.
Yeah, that's a good call.
At game 87 for the Mariners. Just a little surprised, but you know, if you're not voted in, as we have talked, you know, you start looking at representation for clubs and look at how many runs he's driven in. Nelson Cruz and Cano. with Sano, who's going to the All-Star game, Cruz and Judge. Only Robbie Cano is not going.
Alonso has it. He'll take it himself, so Blackburn gets the double play. Nothing for the Mariners in the bottom of the first. Second inning coming up. 3-0 the A's lead.
A's Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by Airport Home Appliance. Don't miss the 4th of July sale going on now at Airport Home Appliance and Mattress.
What a great look at downtown Seattle. That's Lake Union. People just hanging out.
You know, they were saying Randy Jones used to start games in San Diego at 7:30, be home before it gets dark. Well, Seattle's lighter up here than ever.
It's great.
But you might play 3 hours up here and get home before it gets dark.
I fell asleep last night when the sun was still out. It was great.
You were tired, partner.
It was great. Well, you do notice it, though, how, I mean, in this area, in Alaska, it's dark for 2 hours in the summer?
Oh, yeah.
1-1 to Jacob Brugman. So the A's sent 8 men to the plate in the first inning. Scored 3 runs, so they're sitting on a nice early 3-0 lead.
They have to add on. The last 2 were retired, Maxwell and Chapman, both on 3 and 2 counts, and now 1 and 2 to Brugman. Brugman yesterday, a nice home run for his second, both against the White Sox. This was against Mike Pelfrey, right center field. A 3-2 count.
Of course.
That partner said 3-2 all day yesterday. And he's going to say it again right now.
3-2.
And you wonder why pitchers don't pitch beyond 4, 5, 6 innings. And you're throwing that many pitches. 30 in the first inning, and that's ball 4.
Joyce to follow, and then Simeon. Brugman hitting .222. And he rips one to right field. That's a base hit down the line. Brugman hits the bag at first, headed for second. Haniger gets it back in, and Brugman has a leadoff double. And Gaviglio right back in trouble here in the second inning. Brugman, who's got a couple of home runs, now he's got a double in his career.
Jed Lowry got his 200th, and Jacob Brugman gets his first. And a good swing on a 3-2. But the thing about Gaviglio, and watching him now face 9 batters, when you're not overpowering, you better hit the spots. And so far tonight, he's not done that consistently. And as a result, the A's just picked up their 4th hit. They have 3 runs in the first, and they want to keep adding on.
So here's Joyce, who singled and scored in the first. Inside corner first time.
Well, Matt Joyce just trying to pull the ball. Robinson Cano in the right field, shallow right field, not quite all the way out as far as we've seen, guys, because Matt Joyce can run. And that determines how deep the second baseman wants to go. We also saw yesterday, Kemp, when the runner at second base and Jed Lowry got a base hit to the left field. And the whole left side of the infield is open with the exception of one player. And Seager on the left side near third base.
Joyce drives one toward left center. Gamble backs up, and Gamble's got it. So Buckman gets back to second base. So one away here in the second inning, and that'll bring up Semien. Semien walked and scored in the first, and as Ray said, was pretty good at bat. Semien was placed on the disabled list on the 16th of April. And had the surgery on the 18th of April.
And actually felt it in spring training in March. And in hindsight, probably should have started the season having the surgery, and right now he'd be starting his 2017 season instead of hitting below 200 when he tried to play hurt, which is very difficult to do.
Well, I remember asking Marcus when he went on the disabled list, was there like one at bat or something where he felt it? He said, no, not really. He said, I knew it was a problem when it started bothering me when I was throwing.
Yeah.
He said, and then now it's bothering when I'm hitting and when I'm throwing, and knew something was not quite right. That doesn't help any.
You know, the one thing I noticed too when he was playing at the beginning of the season, he was releasing his top hand all the time.
So you knew it was something wasn't quite right.
You know, some guys will do that in their swing, but when he was doing it and doing it really for the first time, you knew something was wrong, and that was to avoid the follow through, and sometimes just keeping your hand on the bat and following through. You're going to feel it in your right hand, which is the top hand for a right-handed hitter.
That's a good pitch right there. A little slider right on the outside corner. So that's out number 2 here in the second inning.
Perfectly thrown slider, and this time a good pitch outside corner. And for Mark Carlson, the home plate umpire, his zone, of course, happy, I'm sure, for him to see pitchers in the strike zone so he can call them effectively.
So 2 away. Here's Yonder Alonso, who doubled in a run in the first and then scored.
That's amazing, Cape. If you don't play the fundamental baseball and get a leadoff double and he's still at second, that changes the whole inning. It helps the pitcher. And it hurts the offense when just a ball hit in the right spot is going to advance him to third. Maybe the infield plays back. Maybe they play in. Either way, it's going to help the hitter. The pitcher starts to feel pretty good about himself, getting 2 outs after the leadoff double.
One and one to Alonso. Alonso's double was a soft line drive down the right field line. In fact, he may have broke his bat on it. I think he did.
Sure sounded like it.
Outfield playing Alonso pretty straight up. We do see outfield play him a little bit toward left center occasionally. Dyson just a step or 2 into right center. Grounds this one right to Cano, who's about 5 steps out onto the outfield grass, and he throws out Alonso. So a leadoff double for the A's, nothing else. Bottom of the second coming up.
Bay Area youth the opportunity to learn about science through baseball with the Science of the Game program. Students in 1st through 8th grades who complete the Science of the Game workbooks can earn 2 free tickets to regular season A's game. Visit athletics.com/science to get your workbooks today. You know, I wanted to look at this. Sam was trying to read this promo while they were showing this great shot of the water. I mean, it's hard to do, Kite. Kayaking and the sound.
I'll try to help you out next time a little bit.
Yeah, we can just maybe ad-lib.
I'll just hum some music or something. I don't know. I can only do so much for you, Raymond.
Raymond? Who are you laughing at?
So Chris Davis grabs it. So Nelson Cruz pops it up.
Good off-speed pitch, and Cruz looking back at their diamond vision to see how much he was fooled out in front of the pitch. And you're right, Cap. This middle part of the lineup very, very powerful with Cano, Cruz, and Seager. Although Seager is having a little bit of a tough season. Although numbers, normal people would like the numbers, but he's not happy with them. But this is a very good part of the lineup. Maybe the middle three, one of the best in the American League that we see.
Yeah. Supposedly, Seager's having a down year, but he's got 45 RBIs, which is not too shabby.
Still hits left-handers very well. Just wonder if there's a little competition with his brothers playing shortstop with the Dodgers.
Now, the young man in Los Angeles is a chance to be a superstar.
Well, his brother Kyle signed over $100 million to lock him up with the Mariners for quite a few years.
That one is lined to left for a hit.
He does that a lot. He's going to get his average up where he wants it. Great inside out swing on a fastball inside. Jason Candell, the first base coach. Watch a swing on a pitch inside and just stays inside, slaps it to left field. And a nice swing. Of course, he hits a lot of home runs. Will hit lefties very well, but when you're struggling, if you can go opposite field, that'll get your swing back quicker than anything. There it is. 14 of them to left field.
So here's Danny Valencia. First pitch just a little bit low. Valencia hitting .272 with 8 home runs, 40 RBIs. He's got 11 doubles. He's got a couple of triples. And now it's 2-0. Valencia got off to a slow start with the Mariners, but he stayed with them. And he's been much better the last couple months than he was in the first month. This month of April, he hit just 181. But very good since then.
He's always been a good hitter.
Yeah, he can hit.
Every organization, every team that he's played.
I actually thought last year, I mean, he did a decent job at third, but when he was asked to play right field and asked to play first base, he did a pretty good job.
Yes, he did.
I mean, he's not going to win a Gold Glove, but 2-2 now.
Well, Blackburn got a ground ball off the bat of Gamble, turn 2. That was after the base hit, the blue hit by Segura, and started 2-0 to Valencia. Now 2 pretty good pitches, although Valencia didn't like the 2-0 pitch called. Slider that he just saw was in the middle of the plate.
Bounces this one to Lowry. See if the A's can turn another double play, and they will. So 2 innings, 2 4-6-3 double plays for Paul Blackburn.
for Xbox One, PS4, iOS, and Android. Enjoy fast-paced pick-up and play MLB action packed with all your favorite MLB teams, players, ballparks, and much more. Your breakout MLB season is here. You better come ready to play. Learn more at rbigame.com.
So back here in Seattle, Chris Davis is going to lead it off. Davis, Lowry, and Healy here in the third inning. Big swing by Chris Davis. Hits it high and foul into the upper deck, and the count is 0-1. Davis struck out in the first. And that's a quick 0-2. That's good. And maybe a changeup for Emilio.
Again, his fastball, maybe Mike Zunino realizes his fastball control is not where he wants it, so he's using a lot other pitches like that slider and changeup.
So Chris Davis strikes out for the second time.
I was watching CB Bucknor. I thought it was interesting. Robbie Cano was playing on the left side of the infield. As this off-speed pitch again out of the strike zone. Chris Davis opening up. Robinson Cano was on the left side of the infield the first two until 2 strikes, and now of course he's going to this. But CB Bucknor was ever there with him. When Robbie Cano went to the other side, he went with him. So maybe the umpires moved when the shift is on, which it looked like that's what CB Bucknor did, who is at second base tonight.
He must have been moving because of the shift.
Yeah.
Why else would he be moving?
That's the only reason. But I don't know why he would go. I mean, if he's going to position himself one spot, if the infielder goes, he shouldn't have to do it himself. You would think that they would want to be in one spot. But now he's playing the shift also. Jed Lowry with a off-speed pitch off the right field wall. Marcus Semien and Alonso scored. 200th double for Jed Lowry and his 27th before the All-Star break. Game number 86 for the A's.
2-1 now. Emilio. A lot of pitches in the first inning, a little bit better in the second, and he's trying to just settle in here in the third. Valencia, nice backhanded play. Hustle to first, and Lowry is retired. So 2 away here in the top of the third. Not a bad play by Danny Valencia. Down to his knees to make it.
Well, he's got Robbie Cano behind him with a shift, and you know, as we've talked, is sometimes for a pitcher, but also see where Cano is going over to field it. So as a first baseman, it's a good play, but you hope to make it, because if you deflect it, it's going to be a base hit. And when you turn around and you see that your second baseman is there, then that is something that you consider. But nice play by Valencia.
So with 2 outs, here's Healy. Shift is on, including CB Bucknor.
It is kind of, because when Robinson Cano moved, Bucknor would move with him. I don't know. It just, maybe that's, I have to talk to Eddie Montague about the second base umpire. Of course, they do come on in front between second and the mound when there's a runner at first base. Maybe they're just moving in the outfield. They figure if the Mariners think that Ryan Healy's going to pull the ball, CB Bucknor wants to be there to watch it.
When the pitch is tapped foul, Steve Scarsoni scoops it up. Makes a fan happy, and the count is 1-2. Healy walked in the first inning.
He was getting a lot of attention prior to the ball game. I guess the Oregon Ducks, where are they? I think close.
Eugene.
Most people had come from Eugene to watch him play.
And Daviglio went to Oregon State. These two guys just, I mean, they don't like each other.
Well, at least Ryan Healy's wearing the green. That's the color, right? And that's the color for the Oregon Ducks, green?
Yep. Daviglio went to Oregon State. He's from Ashland, Oregon.
Portland was a good AAA team at one time. I don't know who's there now, but that was a AAA for the Tribe for many years. their hitting coach, or assistant hitting coach. He's from McMinnville, Oregon. That is Scott Brocious, former Athletic, former Yankee. Edgar Martinez is their hitting coach. Edgar's got his own little patio out in left field, says Edgar's. There it is.
Nice crowd out there having a good time. And a swing and a miss, and a 3-up, 3-down inning for Sam Gavilia with a couple of strikeouts. Bottom of the third coming up. A's 3, Mariners nothing.
Two of them identical. Gamble to second, to short, to first, double play, and then Danny Valencia from 4 to 6 to 3, double play again. 2 double plays the first 2 innings, and for Paul Blackburn, that is perfect. 5 ground ball outs for the right-hander and 1 fly ball out. You do that, you're going to be in good business for a long time if you can get ground ball outs. He had 9 in his first start of 6 innings against the Braves.
Here he'll face Haniger, Dyson, and Zunino, the bottom 3 for the Mariners. And Haniger rips one toward left center field, and that's trouble. It's going to go all the way to the wall and bounces off the wall. And Mitch Haniger has a double. Double number 10 on the season for Haniger.
Hit the A's well before he went on the disabled list. That's a pretty good pitch to hit. 1-0, fastball up in the zone a little bit to the point that he could drive it. And that was in the gap in left center. I think the A's would have to get Motter's not playing.
Yeah, Tyler Motter not in the lineup.
The Grand Slam.
Taylor Motter, excuse me.
In Oakland.
And here's Gerard Dyson. Anything could happen here. He could bunt. Chapman in on the grass. Dyson takes a strike. Dyson, the 8th place hitter, 247 with 4 homers, 21 RBIs. Alonso in as well. Dyson's the kind of, I mean, Dyson will bunt at any time. Bunt with 2 strikes. I mean, he's a very good bunter, and of course he's got that terrific speed. It's this one high in the air. Let's see if Haniger tags. Looks like he may, and he's going to try it. Brugman's throw is there, and they got him. What a throw by Jacob Brugman. In the air, Chapman grabbed it, and Haniger never really had a chance. 2 outs.
Well, the nice thing about watch in center field with Brugman, he sees the ball, he gets behind the ball. This is the key right here. Gets behind, starts to come in, takes a couple of steps, and a very strong arm. We have seen his strong arm. It's wow. Henniger didn't even get to the bag. What a strong throw. Perfect throw by Brugman. And that's called sliding and stopping and not even getting to the bag. That's unbelievable.
And what Matt Chapman did right there is perfectly legal, and it's a great play.
He blocked him, and that's exactly right. If you know guy's going to slide head first, do it. Because if they're coming in spikes first, it's a little different story. But he was there, made the tag, strong throw, 2 outs.
Zunino with a pop-up. Should be a play for Yonder Alonso in foul territory. He's got it. So another double play for the A's. They got 3 double plays in 3 innings. A pretty good defense so far from the green and gold.
Your picks for the T-Mobile Home Run Derby Bracket Challenge. With a little luck, you and 3 friends may be going to the 2017 World Series, thanks to T-Mobile. Make your picks at MLB.com/Bracket Challenge.
So the A's got 3 in the first, and it's 3-0, top of the 4th now. The defense has been the story for the A's in this game. So they will send Maxwell, Chapman, and Brugman to the mound against Sam Gaviglio. These are 37 and 48 on the year, so they just would love to have a good series, win a series here in Seattle before heading into the All-Star break. And maybe, who knows, turn it up a notch in the second half. That one is line fair down the left field line. Gamble picks it up. Gamble has got a good arm. He gets it back in quickly.
If that young
the
man,
A's are saying somebody touched it, which means it would be a double.
That's
Instead,
right.
Maxwell just stopped at first, and it's a single. Michael Andretti said he touched it.
Mike is saying he could see it from first base. The fan did reach over. It hit a fastball away from him. He went that direction just inside the line, but watch the fan reach over. Did he get a glove on it? Oh, he did.
He did, yeah.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He deflected it just enough, and that's a ground rule double if he makes any contact on the ball off his glove.
And Bob Melvin says, what's going on here? Fielding Colbreth is the crew chief, and he is also the third base umpire who's closest to it. Doesn't always mean he had the best look.
Well, that's why Mike Andretti across the line could see it, and here's what Mike Andretti was saying. See the ball
I think it did hit his glove.
It hit his glove. They're going to take a look at it, I think. But they're going to see it go off the tip of the glove, and you're right. That's a ground rule double. And maybe this is more of an umpire to get it right call.
And it's a huge break for the A's.
Absolutely.
Because whether this guy touches it or not,
Watch this. Right off the tip of the glove.
Yep,
See?
it did.
It changed direction.
But even if he doesn't touch it, Maxwell's going to stop at first no matter what.
You're right.
So the A's are going to get
Yeah.
90 feet here.
I think you're right, and it should be, because of what we just showed, what the great crew just showed in their camera work, it should be very easy for New York to say, yeah, there's fan interference, and that's the ground will double. But regardless, very good hitting by Bruce Maxwell going opposite field on a fastball away. Yeah.
And so the A's are challenging
Well,
this.
good. That's good, because they should see this right there.
And you know what, Ray? In fairness to the umpires, that's not an easy play to see. I mean, he barely touched it.
But it's enough to change the direction of the
no
ball.
question. No question.
And you're right.
I'm just saying.
Exactly. But you're right, because it would have hit off the sidewall, regardless of whether he touched it, and it would have been a single for Maxwell. Yeah. You're right. But you know the angle, and you're saying for Phil Culberth, the umpire at third. That's why Aldrete across the diamond all the way at first base could see it change direction. I think that's what he was looking at. As the fan reaches out, watch the ball hit the glove, and then kick back towards here. But where he reached out, it looked like it was going to hit the sidewall anyway. Over to Gamble, and I mean, he's got a base hit for sure. Try to go for 90 feet. Fan interference. Thank you. Go to second base. Good call. Go ahead, Bruce. You can go to second.
You know what, though? Phil Culberth pointed at first base.
You know why? Because I think he said, just as we were talking about, he was not going to go beyond first anyway.
Yeah, so the umpire can decide where to put the runner.
So it cannot be a challenge against the A's. I wouldn't think. I would think it would. Would they look at that as being one against them? Because if that's the case, they could have.
Well, I think he said, yeah, because he put his hands together like this. So it is fan interference, but they are deciding where to put the runner, and they're putting him at first base. So it goes as a single.
See, the problem with that call, it's not consistent, because there are times when a fan reaches over and the umpires will not look at it that way. And they, for example, a ball that's interfered with a runner at first and he's going to score easily, but a fan interferes and he has to go back to third. So the inconsistency's there, whereas this is kind of the same type.
So Maxwell, it's all said and done, gets the A's 5th hit. And it's 0-2 to Chapman now. Chapman just got a piece of that one. Rolls back to backstop. 66 pitches for Gaviglio. Straight up defense for Chapman. Chapman popped out to third to end the first inning. Hits that one hard. Seager with a diving play. He throws to second to get the out there. What a play by Kyle Seager. Wow.
That's Seager simply knowing that the fastest runner was going to first base. He had a better chance to get Maxwell at second, and he did. Plenty of time, but to throw across the diamond, he would not have been able to get Chapman. Instead gets to second base, and Cano realizes no chance for double play. Great diving stop. Take a double away from Chapman.
So that's one out with Chapman now at first. Chapman with good speed. Here's Bregman, who doubled in the second. Bregman doubled leading off the second. But the A's could not move him. So he ended up being stranded there. It was his first career double. And he hooks this one, but it's foul. So Bregman with a couple of home runs, and now he's got a double. 19 hits total. He's playing in his 26th game. Joined the A's when Athletics were in St. Petersburg. The weekend of June 9th, 10th, and 11th. Saw one, saw two, saw one, saw three.
So it's going to be a slider in. Didn't like the curveball, fastball in or out. Slider down.
North just foul, not by much. So the count remains 0-2. 70 pitches now for Gaviglio, so it'll be a bullpen night for the Mariners. See, the 30 in the first inning is what got him, and he walked a couple, gave up 3 hits. Matt Joyce to follow. 3 runs on 5 hits for the A's, no runs on 3 hits for the Mariners. Fastball at 89 miles an hour outside. He's come in 12th in the league in total runs scored.
It's a perfect time for a left-handed hitter. Try to hook the ball, pull the ball past the first baseman. Second baseman close to the bag, thinking about a double play. But for the first baseman, you see the hole between first and second. I was almost thinking he is going to pull the ball. That's why the shortstop, Segura, is closer to second base.
Strike 3 called on the inside corner. 88 miles an hour, but well placed. Brugman strikes out. 4 strikeouts for Gaviglio.
And this is what he has to do to be effective, because he's not overpowering. Get a lot of movement, buckle the knees, and he got Brugman. So a double, assist on a double play, and now a strikeout.
So 2 outs for Matt Joyce. Joyce singled and scored in the first, hit a fly ball to left field in the second. Pitch down and away. So the A's 12th in the league in runs scored. They're 5th in home runs. The A's have hit 121 home runs this year. 11th in the league in stolen bases. Well, they relied on the long ball for most of the first half of this season, which is fine when it's working. It can be a little bit dangerous.
I'd say very dangerous, because you're going to run up against a staff that it's got to be a little bit difficult to hit with the home run ball. That's why the small ball is very important. And situational hitting. Like a leadoff double, get him over, get him in.
Astros lead the American League home runs, and the Rangers, Rays, Yankees, and the A's. I think that's and you see those teams right there, Ray, and you see the Astros on top. And we've seen the Astros, right? We know all about them.
Nice play.
Sometimes you don't ever glove, you go to plan B. But the Astros have the ability to score in different ways, and that's why they lead the league in run score. The A's are just as dangerous from a home run hitting standpoint as the Astros.
But the one stat now, they talk about run differential, and you start looking at that, and that's where those manufactured runs would play into a team like the Astros, because they're very athletic and they'll score from first on a gapper. Take the extra base, which we have seen a lot when the A's have played the Astros. They go first to third as effectively as they do. They'll score a lot of runs that way. I think the Angels one of the first teams to start that, and when the Angels won the World Series in '02, that was Mike Scioscia. Had the power, but he also had the players who went first to third and could do a lot of little things to help manufacture runs. Because in the postseason, you're going to always go and face the best pitchers on the opposing team.
Chapman, the runner at first. Joy swings and misses. Side retired. So a couple more strikeouts. Gaviglio has 6 strikeouts through the first 4 innings, but the A's lead 3-0. Brewed Coors Light yesterday versus the White Sox. Rajai Davis stole a career high, tying 4 bases, oldest player in athletics history to have 4 steals in a game. Previously, Bert Campaneris had 5 steals in 1976 at the age of 34. So Rajai Davis, 36 years old. He stole second twice. He stole third twice. He was all over the place. And really, none of the plays, if I remember correctly, Ray, were all that close. A couple of them didn't even have a throw.
He definitely was running on the pitcher, which most base stealers will do that.
Top of the order for the Mariners, Segura had a base hit in the first inning. He was erased on a double play. Gene Segura, as we told you, Gamble leading the American League in batting average. Segura just does not quite have enough plate appearances. Otherwise, he would be leading the league in hitting. He probably will be at some point soon. He's 2 for 2 today. Came in hitting .343. He's kind of a hit machine.
Yes, he is. Hit a home run center field last night.
And he does not walk a lot. He does not strike out a lot.
And that pitch wasn't a bad one down. Good sinker. Got a ground ball, but it found its way into left field.
You know who he hits a little bit like, Ray, is Altuve, where he can be a bad ball hitter.
Yeah.
He's aggressive, and he just racks up hits. So there's Ben Gamble leading the league in hitting, just ahead of Altuve and Aaron Judge. So Gamble kind of quietly having a pretty nice season. His first full season here with the Seattle Mariners. Came over in a trade from the Yankees on the 31st of August last year.
He started growing his hair.
That's right. We saw him at the end of the year. He played in 27 games with the Mariners. Hit just 200.
You think of the Yankees clean shaven and short hair, and you look at Gamble.
He said, I can't wait to get to Seattle. And he's grabbed the left field job and playing every day.
Oh.
And Segura is going to get picked off when the A's put the tag on him, and they do. So Segura, who led off this inning with a hit, and he's knocked off the bases. So another big play.
Yes, a huge play. See Scott Service, and he was running but ran too soon, and this is considered a caught stealing. So Bruce Maxwell standing behind home plate, should be down to first base just in case. Get the pitcher out of the way, but it's going, just ran too soon. Whoever read it perfectly, and Marcus Semien able to get him out. And not surprised that Scott Service, who was talking to him briefly before the game about the health of players and playing good baseball. He said, how great would that be to have both? And he's not getting a lot of it tonight.
Well, they've hit into 2 double plays. They've hit a fly ball into a double play with the runner trying to go from second to third thrown out, and now they've had a runner picked off first. All that in 4 innings.
And you know, Hannigan should never have been trying. The ball was not deep enough or to the gap to be able to warrant really trying to get to third base, but try to help his buddy Dyson by doing it.
Chapman gets a nice hop. Gamble is retired. 2 outs.
And he swung at 2 pitches out of the strike zone, the last 2. Probably neither one would have been called strikes, but he went after. Good pitching by Blackburn, and he gets another ground ball out. And we get to see the strong arm from Matt Chapman.
Well, the A's are hoping that they're catching the Mariners at the right time. And I say that from an A's perspective because the Mariners right now are not playing well. They've lost 8 out of their last 10. They've fallen 4 games under 500. And they have lost 7 consecutive home games.
That's the biggest thing right there, because this is a Mariners Park that you think that they're going to play much better baseball here. Not to say they won't before the weekend is over, but you're right. Catch them at the right time, and especially to be able to turn the double plays. Get on the board early for Blackburn as he takes them out against his former team, organization anyway.
The Mariners are 25-20 at home, 16-25 on the road. So they were playing very well at home until this 7-game losing streak. They were just swept by the Kansas City Royals. So 25-20, not a terrible home record, but again, 7 consecutive losses. In the big picture, the Mariners are just 4 games back of the second wild card. So they have plenty of incentive to play. But they need a hot streak.
Gary Hughes, Godson, Zavino. A great month of June.
And Cano on a foul tip, 2-2 the count.
I think Scott Roche's about Mike Zunino, who was his hitting coach last year at AAA, and I asked him about him going down. As you see, a very good curveball from Blackburn. Robbie Cano, no contact, but Scott Roches, there he is, the former athletic third baseman, said that it was good for Zunino go down to AAA to get his swing back for the couple of weeks, because we were here before when Zunino was not here, and I guess Bro, who had him at AAA last year, felt that it was necessary. Scott now with Edgar Martinez as the assistant hitting coach. Zunino has come back and he's played very well. One of the best DHs ever, Edgar Martinez.
2-2 pitch, another curve. This one in the dirt. Cano lays off. So full count.
There it is.
Cruz sitting on 299. Cano 295. So a couple of milestone home runs coming up for those 2 veteran sluggers. And Cano takes inside. He walked in. Cruz homered last night. He hadn't hit one in a while.
Against a former teammate, Vargas, and it was gone, and he makes contact. It usually travels. That's why he was a little upset in this first at bat when he hit a slider, popped it up to left field.
So Cruz sitting on 299 home runs. These are the active home run leaders. Of course, Albert Pujols on top. Cruz is 10th on that list, chasing Curtis Granderson. Adrian Gonzalez, who's been banged up all year. And Cruz, this is the 8th game of the year that the A's and the Mariners have played, and Cruz has 3 home runs and 11 RBIs against the A's already this year. He has always been tough on the Athletics.
Ask Sean Manaea.
Yep. Second in the league in RBIs for Cruz with 63.
Sean Manaea, who been known to give up 1 or 2 to Nelly Cruz. Hope that will not be the case tomorrow night.
It's blocked by Maxwell. Cruz has 25 career home runs against the Athletics. Two-one pitch. Ooh, and a hanger.
Whoa. He missed a few.
He was trying to catch Adrian Beltre. Active home run leaders against the Athletics. Beltre with 38, Cruz with 25.
Shaw's got 23 and he's only 25.
We've seen them all.
Wow. I think before it's all said and done, Mike Trout stays healthy and stays in the American League, especially the West. He'll just shoot past those other ones.
2-2 pitches, drill toward right field. Joyce moving over. Joyce makes the catch. Side retired. So a hit and a walk. Base running mistake by the Mariners. A's lead 3-0 after 4.
NBC Sports California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. Thomas has come all the way from the island of Sodor, and he's doing his best to be a useful little engine and day out with Thomas.
I've seen that before.
So A's 3, Mariners nothing. It's the top of the 5th inning. On a beautiful night here at Safeco Field. First of 4 before we hit the All-Star break. These will be home after the break. Simeon, Alonso, and Davis against Sam Gaviglio, who has settled down nicely after a very rocky first inning. Simeon walked and scored in that first. A's are 4-3 against the Mariners this year, so this is the third series between these two teams. Good swing by Marcus, and the count 1-2. Two good seasons for Semien. Games played 155, 159. Homers went up from 15 to 27. Batting average went down a little bit. But also you saw the games played, so obviously his time on the disabled list here in 2017, the first time he's ever been on the DL, which probably never easy to deal with.
Well, if there's only one positive, it's the fact that he got to spend a lot of time with his newborn son more last year. But he'd rather be playing baseball than playing with his son in the wintertime.
And he's got a base hit.
Go back in with a fastball inside, and Marcus Semien able to pull the hands in, and that in itself, with the fastball in, it's a base hit.
So fourth time in 5 innings the A's have had their leadoff man aboard as they try to extend their 3-0 lead. And here's Yonder Alonso. Runner goes, throw to second base is not in time. Semien's in with a stolen base.
Just looking back, I don't know if that was a slow leg kick by Blackburn, and Zunino kind of a tentative throw to second base. He got him on the backside, but his hand was already in safely. Then Semien looked back almost like it was a missed sign by somebody, but he might have been indicating to Alonso that it was him, but he got in safely anyway.
Marcus Semien gets a stolen base, his 5th of the year. So now the A's have a runner at second base with nobody out.
So that means Brody's happy, right?
That's right. Brody wants more stolen bases. He wants it to be the 1976 Oakland A's. When Don Baylor stole 52.
Bando had that. Yeah, all of them did. They were the running A's.
Right. Chuck Tanner said, let's go. We're going to run.
Everybody's going to run. Here's the slide, gets around the tag, and the hand in is the tag by Segura was on the backside.
Zunino blocks it. So the count 3-0.
Do you know, kind of in reality and what Brody is talking about in the stolen bases, but if you watch pitchers, it's almost like they expect every catcher to be like Pudge Rodriguez and throw out everybody without even any kind of a help to hold him at first base. But you have the high leg kick, and Mike Aldrete has a stopwatch. They can do the math. Between Zunino throwing to second, the pitcher releasing the ball to the plate. I know, Ricky, if you're listening, I know you don't mind to pay attention to the clock, but that's what they do today.
Alonso takes the walk, and the big league will now face Chris Davis. Let's see, Ray, if you're a catcher and you say that, then you get released. No? Miguel Montero, he gone.
Well, but in reality, it's true. Because
what he said was exactly true. Probably shouldn't have said it.
He shouldn't have said it. That's right. But if you watch the leg kicks, and I know that if there are young pitchers that come to the big leagues, the one thing that a lot of times they're told is you concentrate on the pitcher and not so much on the base stealers. But if a team is going to take advantage of that and they see the leg kick, they're going to run. There's a stopwatch, and that basically is to determine at what point or how quickly Cavallio releases the ball to the plate, and then how long it takes Zunino to get the ball to second base, and you add those two together and the speed of the runner first base. A lot of times it will determine whether he's going to be safe or not.
So 1-1 to Chris Davis.
That is something you'll see with every first base coach, the stopwatch. And we'll see them at times they'll do the stopwatch, then they'll go over and talk to the base runner. Tell him what his time is. 1, 2, 3, 4, somewhere in that neighborhood.
High in the air to right field. Haniger's going back. Haniger's at the wall, and that baby is gone.
Unbelievable.
3-run homer for Chris Davis. 6-0. The A's lead.
And this is a fly ball and a breaking ball, actually down. And Chris Davis, and I think we've seen so much of this with Haniger just going back to the wall and figured he's got a chance. And it just keeps going out. And he turned around and still couldn't get it. Inciarte did the same thing when the Braves were in town. Chris Davis, that is the 9th 3-run home run for the A's. Chris Davis got the last one. That was against Paulino at Houston. 9 home runs to right field for Chris Davis. And his kind of power, why not?
And now Lowry rips one into right center. He's got a hit. So Lowry's 2 for 3.
So Chris Davis strikes out twice. Doesn't look anything like a hitter. And then he gets one pitch on the outside part of the plate and hits a 3-run home run.
Lenny Gallardo now in the bullpen starts to throw. So Chris Davis now 24 home runs and 60 RBIs.
And he's not going to Miami.
Mel Stottlemyre Jr. comes out. Probably just trying to give Gallardo some time out in that bullpen. Mark Carlson's, he knows what's up. So 3 in the first, 3 in the 5th for the A's. They lead 6-0. Still nobody out. It's gone single, walk, homer, single, and Healy steps up. Healy bounces it towards short. On to second for one. Cano to first, and that's a double play. Six, 4, 3 double play. So Healy is 0 for 2 with a walk, and with 2 outs, Maxwell will step up. So the A's now with 122 home runs as a team. 24 then by Davis. Healy's got 19. Alonso's got 19. Lots of home runs from the middle of the A's lineup.
Thinking of Ryan Healy, and of course not playing against the White Sox, and the game of baseball being all about timing. And Marcus Semien coming back for the first time in a long time.
That one is driven and hit well left center field, and that one is gone. Right into the Mariners bullpen. Maxwell homers for the first time this year.
Well, I guess it's appropriate that he goes opposite field because that's the way he has been hitting the ball. Struck out his, made a fly ball to left field his first at bat, base hit to left field, and then this home run on an 88-mile-an-hour fastball outside corner. And you say that's a pretty good pitch to throw, but yet it just kept carrying. And 77 degrees at first pitch tonight. I think we're experiencing that now with the way the ball is carrying. And it just kept carrying.
So that will do it.
the Bay. It's presented by Gilead Sciences as the A's host the Giants July 31st and August the 1st. Bay Area supremacy is on the line as we rekindle memories of 1989. Plus exciting action before the game on Championship Plaza with food trucks and DJs going head-to-head for Bay Area bragging rights. Be a part of history. Visit athletics.com/Bay. That's athletics.com/Bay. B-A-Y.
That's Sam Gaviglio, and it was not a good performance. 9 hits and 7 runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings. So now it's the veteran, former starter, now pitching out of the bullpen, Yovani Gallardo. Gallardo just really struggled this year as a starter. His ERA in the rotation was 6.30, and this is a guy who's had a lot of success at the big league level, but he was just getting knocked around, and the Mariners finally said, we got to put you in the bullpen. Temporary? Who knows? Maybe not. So he accepted it, and he's now pitching out of the pen, and he comes in the game here with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning, and the A's leading 7-0.
He's never been overpowering with his fastball, and I think that's what has gotten him in trouble a little bit.
Well, Gallardo contractually has a $13 million club option for next year, which I would say is in serious jeopardy. If he would have pitched well as a starter this year, then probably would have got it picked up.
Yep.
So he's trying to work things out of the bullpen. Matt Chapman's 0 for 2.
Immediately out of the stretch, which tells you a lot about a starter getting to the bullpen.
Fly ball to Dyson in center. He comes in and over. He's got it. And that's the inning, but the A's do damage with the long ball. What a surprise. Chris Davis hits his 24th home run, a 3-run shot. Bruce Maxwell hits his first, a solo shot. 7-0 A's lead after 4.5. Four draft choices in action, including De'Aaron Fox, as he takes on Lonzo Ball and the Lakers. This game will be available in Sacramento only, the Sacramento area. Also available to stream live on the NBC Sports app. Here in Seattle, the A's lead the Mariners 7-0. And it's just the bottom of the 5th inning. A's with 3 in the 1st and 4 in the 5th. So bottom of the 5th. First pitch to Seager is a strike in the outside corner from Paul Blackburn, who is looking for his first big league win. He pitched well in his big league debut, but got a no decision. So 1-1 the count to Seager, who singled in the 2nd and was erased on a double play. right there. Simmons, he knocks it down, picks it up, throws, and they just get Seager for out number 1.
Okay, this is exactly what you've talked about. Turn around and know where your infielders are playing, and Simeon's right behind the bag.
Ray, we all want to welcome our new Chief Operating Officer for the Athletics. His name is Chris Giles. He comes over, spending quite a bit of time with the San Francisco 49ers. He was the Vice President of Sales and Strategy for the Niners. So he's going to oversee organization-wide strategy, daily operations for the team's revenue, generating functions, including sales, marketing, partnerships, PR, and community engagement. So we welcome Chris Giles aboard, and he had a big hand in getting Levi Stadium built for the 49ers.
No, that's the direction the A's are taking. Dave Campbell, the president, of course, making an announcement sometime this year as far as the location, and I'm sure we'll turn it over to Mr. Giles and say, do what you did with Levi. But I think that the biggest thing too is what John Fisher, the owner, Dave Campbell, the president, and talk about making some moves already this year since that change was made in the offseason, and going forward to this 2017 season. So many changes, additions to the organization, and making changes, in all for the good and in anticipation of going into a new stadium. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, we wish John, Dave, Chris all the luck in working hard and making the new ballpark a reality for the Oakland A's. Not an easy job.
But I would think there are going to be a lot of fans just like those in the green and gold here in Seattle. They're going to be very happy once the announcement is made. Already the fact that the A's and Dave Campbell have said we're going to stay in Oakland, rooted in Oakland. It's going to be there, and now determine where it's going to be and go forward and build it. And a lot of people, especially those fans who thought maybe the A's were going to be leaving Oakland, Alameda County, they're not, and they're going to stay. And you look at this stadium across the way, you see the football stadium and this beautiful retractable roof like a carport. This is a beautiful place, and it was a result of the '95 season in which the Mariners just came out of nowhere. And the Kingdome was imploded. The new stadium there was built. This was built. 116 games, a pretty good season.
Remember, it opened the midway point of the 1999 season, Safeco Field. So it's its 18th full year.
And I remember what had happened too, because the Kingdome, the ball carried. It's almost like the Metrodome, where Joe Mauer played and hit home runs the opposite field. They opened this place after the Kingdome. Those flying balls were home runs or warning strike shots.
Broken bat grounder by Valencia. Chapman has it, and he throws across. So a couple of ground ball outs here in the bottom of the 5th for Paul Blackburn. He's rolling along.
A good pitch on the 3-2 fastball. Did not just say, here it is, hit it. Got it on his hands, jammed him. And tell you, Matt Chapman, that's fun to watch him. Whenever he picks up the ball and throws, and it's just like a clothesline all the way across the diamond. Yonder Alonso's got to enjoy it. They're playing at first base, catching it about chest high.
Chapman's arm is so good where we sit when he throws it across the diamond. He throws it low, and it looks like it's going to be in the dirt when it goes past the pitcher's mouth. And then when it gets to Alonso, it's right there.
And it's rising.
So it never sinks.
Alonso, one of the best that we have seen in scooping balls out of the dirt, but with Matt Chapman so far, it's been, I hope my hand can withstand the velocity in which he throws it across the diamond, because it's a thing of beauty. At third baseman, you want him to have a strong arm. The plays that Matt Chapman has made so far this season, when he's charged, a lot of guys would try to barehand the ball, yet he uses his glove, transfers the ball out of his glove to his throwing hand, and on the same move, throws a dart across the diamond.
Joyce is going back, and he leaps. Did he catch it? No. And Mitch Haniger has a home run, and the Mariners are on the board. Joyce made a great effort. He almost got it. So Haniger has his 7th home run.
Well, the ball carrying tonight. Wow. Pitch up a little bit for Blackburn. Maybe that was one that helped. but it went out, and you're right, Matt Joyce went back, got to the wall, jumped up, and just that close to catching what was a home run.
So here's Dyson.
Well, that would be the first earned run he's given up. And a long ball. And he's added 4 in the top of the inning. Haniger, who first one to right field this year, of his 7. But if you give up solos, there's a lot of great pitchers in the Hall of Fame who gave up a lot of home runs but had nobody on base in front of them.
Good changeup, and it's 1-2 to Gerard Dyson. Dyson hit that fly ball to center field in the 3rd. That was caught by Brugman. And then Haniger trying to go 2nd to 3rd. Brugman threw him out. Alonso has it. He'll take it himself. Side retired. So the Mariners get on the board on Haniger's home run. His 7th of the year. 7-1 after 5. SportsCalifornia.com. It's brought to you by Max Muscle. Log on each week as our A's insider Joe Stiglitz talks baseball. It's available on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Spotify. The new guest is Sean Manaea. Check it out. It's worth it. Joe does a good job with the A's Insider podcast.
You been on yet?
No.
With Joe? Huh?
Doesn't really want to talk to us, Ray.
God.
Just when you think you have a nice friendship with Joe Stiglitz, he wants to talk to a player instead.
I think he just goes down the roster and checks everybody out, and we're down at the bottom, and it keeps going down farther and farther.
We're at the bottom, all right. There's a shot. Segura dives, can't get it. So Brugman with a line shot right up the middle. He's 2 for 3. So hit number 10 for the A's. A's are swinging good bats tonight.
Well, especially with the shift to get on top of the ball right over Gallardo's head and into center field. And if a shortstop who's playing behind the bat can't get to it, you know it's hit hard. So Brugman, another good hit. He's already had a good night. Great night.
So here's Matt Joyce. 1 for 3. Joyce singled and scored in the 1st. Hit a fly ball to left in the 2nd. Struck out in the 4th. Chops this one to Valencia, who juggles, and then he throws to Segura, and they get the out there.
Well, the good thing that Valencia catching this ball, even though he bobbled it, he continued to run. Little flip to second base to get the one out. And that's the good news. I don't know that he's going to turn a double play anyway. Joyce runs well, ball wasn't hit that hard. But once he did bobble the ball, he's able to just keep running and get at least the lead run.
So with one out, here's Marcus Semien. Marcus back from the disabled list. And been right in the middle of the scoring for the A's. He walked and scored in the first, struck out in the second, singled, stole a base, and scored in the fifth. It's great to see Marcus back in the lineup.
Exactly.
You get so used to having him in there. And like I said, he played almost every game his first 2 years in the big leagues.
And I like the fact that Bob Melvin said last year, don't ask him about taking a day off. He doesn't want it. And that's what manager wants to see. And of course, the improvement for Marcus Semien. I think Ron Washington said it best. We got a chance to see Wash over the weekend. When somebody said, well, what about Marcus Semien? You're going to Atlanta. He says, Marcus has learned everything he's going to learn. He does not need any more help. He knows what he has to do to continue to get better. And he will do that.
To pitch outside. Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting point. It sounds to me like Wash showed him what to work on and how to work on it.
Right.
And now it's up to you.
And that's exactly what, I mean, everybody knows that you're going to continue to work hard. And he's going to have some of those. There's going to be times where he's going to swing at pitches. I mean, after all, he's missed a long time. And he's going to have to take his time. It's a pitch that he'll recognize in the future and not swing at, but that one out of the strike zone.
So 2 away, and here's Yonder Alonso. Yonder Alonso is 1 for 2. Double walk, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Good swing, fouled it straight back. The Alonso family is excited back in Miami.
Every one of them.
A little bit high, 1-1. We're seeing Giovanni Gallardo, who's on in relief of Gaviglio. Best case scenario for Scott Service is Gallardo to pitch about 3 innings. What did they play last night? Was it 10 innings? 11 innings?
Maybe 11. Lasted forever.
Felt even longer after you lose.
And especially 7 in a row at home. And to get off as they did tonight on the wrong foot, top of the first, 4 runs last night, 3 tonight. The A's have added on, which is good from the A's standpoint.
Well, speaking of the All-Star game, I would think that one guy who's very happy for Yonder Alonso is Danny Valencia. Of course, they're very good friends, both from Miami. They were pretty tight when they were with the A's. So he's got to be thrilled for his buddy. And now 2-2, 95 miles an hour from Gallardo. It was a 10-inning loss last night for the Mariners.
Seemed like 20. Except for Salvador Perez, who went opposite field like Chris Davis did tonight. That was a 2-run shot last night and 3-run tonight.
Full shift on in the infield. And now 3-2. So with 2 outs, Joyce, the runner at first, will take off on the pitch. The pitch is fouled straight back. So Pretty good at bat here by Yonder Alonso. Eighth pitch of the at bat coming up. There it goes again, and Alonso chased a pitch but stays alive.
One of the things about a good hitter, Alonso with 19 home runs, you feel that you're going to get a fastball, and it's called expanding. And as strong as he has been this year, hitting balls out to all over the park, not surprised to see him be aggressive. And yeah, the kind of year he has had, why not just keep swinging, especially fastball. This is going to be a backdoor slider.
Royce on the move again. Swing and a miss, struck him out. 90 miles an hour. So a couple of strikeouts for Gallardo. We're headed to the bottom of the sixth inning from Safeco Field. 7-1, the A's lead.
Ricky Henderson on July the 15th. The A's will honor Ricky in a memorable pregame ceremony, and 20,000 Ricky Henderson Oakland jerseys driven by Chevrolet will be given away. Don't miss out on this special night versus the Cleveland Indians. Tickets start at $15. Be a part of history at athletics.com/GOAT. That's GOAT for greatest of all time. Athletics.com/GOAT. Ricky Henderson, the man. Ricky Henderson steals some bases. Number 24, number 42. 42, Jackie Robinson. Ken Griffey Jr., number 23. Junior.
So Paul Blackburn back to work. A 7-1 lead, bottom of the sixth inning. Blackburn has allowed 5 hits. Just the 1 run, the Haniger home run. He has walked 1. He does not have a strikeout.
That's right.
Not necessarily a bad thing.
That's his 10th ground ball out, which you'll take anytime. Exactly right.
And that right there, 2 pitches, he gets an out. Listen, he's not going to blow the ball by you, but it looks like, Ray, he does have a little bit of an idea how to pitch.
And you know, Gaviglio and Blackburn similar as far as location, type of pitches, and the only problem for Gaviglio tonight, he had trouble throwing strikes, whereas Paul Blackburn has done a great job doing exactly that. Little slider to Zunino, who came into the game with 12 home runs, hit it very well. It's a little sneaky 89-mile-an-hour fastball, get ahead, first pitch.
10 ground ball outs tonight, no strikeouts. He's got 3 double plays, 2 ground ball double plays, and a fly ball, throw a guy out at third double play. And he's picked off Segura at first. Segura has a bit of an interesting batting style. Really holds the bat very low. Now that's at the beginning of his swing. He raises it up a little bit. So he just holds it right about there. But the question is, what does he do with it? He raises it a little bit and he bounces one right back up the middle. That's what he does, folks. So Segura is 3 for 3. So here's the pitch usage for Blackburn on Saturday in his big league debut. A lot of sliders.
Slider, sinker slider, basically. Fastball, 2 and 4 seam with a slider. Average velocity, 91.
He ended up throwing 96 pitches in 6 innings.
Remember, Greg Maddux won 351 games, Hall of Famer, first ballot. He didn't throw hard either, but he pinpointed his control. And if Paul Blackburn could be like him, as Kendall Graveman talked to the GOAT, greatest throw of all time, and Greg Maddux came out through a 98-pitch shutout against the White Sox after that discussion. And so you don't have to be overpowering. And in fact, there's some are saying that those who throw hard don't last very long. The harder you throw, it seems like the more you get hurt. So if that's the case, then let's drop a few velocity through miles per hour and see what you can do with throwing with control and get ground ball outs.
2-0 to Gamble. He hits one high in the air. Foul territory. Chapman makes the catch. And now as he was going to throw it back in, he dropped it. Segura thought about going to second, but stays there. So really no question whether Chapman had it or not.
I don't think I would test his arm anytime. There's the transfer, and he went down to make sure he had it, but that was clearly taking the ball out of his glove. And he's fielding Colbert. Talking to Mike Aldretti, who's done a very good job with the outfielders, and especially Jacob Brugman, who's made the strong throw tonight, and how when you're playing defense, and Mike was a first baseman, moved to the outfield when Will the Thrill Clark came to the Giants, so he had to learn how to play the outfield. But talked about the importance, and we've always talked about that you can do one thing offensively, but if you're playing both sides and you don't excel offensively, you can do something defensively. And tonight, Brugman, a couple of hits, but he's also thrown out a base runner. In the case of Chapman, you're playing hot corner. You can make the plays defensively, then eventually the bat's going to come around. It's frustrating when you don't get hits. Minor leagues hit a lot of home runs, but playing defense, first and foremost, you do that, the rest is going to come.
1-0 to Robinson Cano. 2-0 Robinson Cano. Cano has grounded out and he has walked. Shoots that one into left field, a base hit. So Cano gets the 7th hit for the Mariners. And now you got to be careful.
Well, that's the fastball up and away, and that's how smart Robinson Cano has always been. Yankees are now with the Mariners. You pitch him away, he'll go away. You also make a mistake, he'll hit a home run, which he's hit 17. And surprisingly, he's hit more home runs than Nelson Cruz this year. 17 to 15, which is very surprising.
So here is Cruz. Cruz has hit a fly ball to left, and then he has line to right. 2 on, 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Curve snaps in there for a strike.
Every time you see that curve and it ends up in the catcher's mitt, you're saying thank you.
Yep, I agree.
this is saying hit me, and he does not swing. And man, that's getting the first pitch curveball over for a strike. You can do that even with great hitters. They will take it. You just hope they don't swing at it, because that's a pretty hittable pitch.
Taps this one behind the bag at second. Lowry on the back end, steps on the bag side. Retired. Mariners strand a pair. Blackburn good through 6 innings. Athletics lead 7-1.
Right field for Chris Davis. He struck out his first 2 at-bats, but then that happened right there. The A's had a 3-0 lead. One swing of the bat, circling around in right field was Henniger, but the ball over the fence. Home run number 24 for KD Chris Davis. 60 runs batted in. For Chris Davis, who's in left field tonight. He has been DHing, but Ryan Healy is back, so Healy DHing, Chris Davis in left, and there you have it. 29 for Here Come the Judge. Moustakas hit another one last night, 25.
And the first pitch to Davis is a strike from Gallardo. Lowry to follow, and then Healy here in the top of the 7th. 7-10-0 for the A's, 1-7-0 for the Mariners. You saw Mike Moustakas' name on there, Ray. He was the American League player that got voted in the final vote for the All-Star game, which the voting ended this afternoon.
Wasn't he going to be one of the participants in the home run derby?
He is.
Yeah. And so he makes the team, so he can go there and stay.
He's going to have double the fun.
Yeah.
So Mike Moustakas, who has 25 home runs this year, wins that final vote in the American League.
Is it Turner who won in the National League?
Yeah,
and
Houston Turner.
And he's hurt?
He's back.
Oh, he's back. Okay, that's good.
So Turner from the National League, Moustakas from the American League. Moustakas' numbers terrific. Turner is hitting .384. He's missed some time, as Ray said, due to the disabled list, but he is back, and he is having a terrific season. Talk about a late bloomer.
Like that.
Turner was with the Mets, and he was kind of a part-time player, and he was let go. And he signed a minor league deal with the Dodgers maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah, he was a free agent after last year, I think.
Yeah.
He re-signed with the Dodgers.
So he had some great years with the Dodgers, became a free agent, re-signed with them, and he's one of the best hitters in the National League.
And on a team that seems that they can trade for somebody, release him, and pay him off.
Oh my gosh!
They kept this guy. He's done well.
So congratulations to Moustakas and Turner. Three-two pitch to Davis, fouled straight back. So now you're going to start hearing the pitchers who are pitching on Sunday, who will not be eligible, and if there's any injuries.
Well, Correa had to leave a game, but he's back.
Yeah. But I believe Kershaw is going to pitch on Sunday, so he will not be eligible. So there's always a handful of replacements, which start to trickle in the next couple days.
So that means the American League gets Scherzer?
That's what it looks like. Yeah. If it's not Kershaw, it's going to be Scherzer, I would think. So Chris Davis with a walk.
Cap, I was reading the other day, and I know you read a lot, may have seen it too, but I was surprised to see where, because of the number of home runs being hit already this season, someone speculated that the baseballs were juiced. I could not believe when I read it. I was thinking Jose Abreu finally hit his 2 home runs in Chicago. He had 13 on the road. Yeah. But just because they're hitting home runs doesn't mean, and Roller's not going to do anything with the baseball. I mean, they're the same baseballs they've always used. Now they might juice them in the home run derbies, but not regular season. And I don't even know if they do that. But I just think guys are swinging harder. Pitchers are.
So I thought you were joking. So you're being serious? That you don't think there's nothing different with the baseballs?
Do you think there is?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I just think guys are swinging so hard, and that's why the strikeouts are up and home runs. But I don't know. Maybe I'm naive to believe that. I always thought in the All-Star game or the home run derby they were a little bit, if they can.
And that would make sense in the home run derby.
But I think you'd have to, if you're going to manufacture baseballs for Major League Baseball, they're going to have to be scrutinized at the point that they're either going to be watched to manufacture. I just can't see that they would be tampering with the baseballs. Now, at one time when second baseman, who normally don't hit a lot of home runs, were going opposite field, then there was something there. But
I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of balls flying out opposite ways.
That's true. That's true. Even tonight, as a matter of fact.
Who knows? We'll never know.
Yeah,
That's
no.
for sure. Lowry swings and misses, so 3-2 the count. Lowry's had a good game, 2 for 3, single, double, 2 RBIs. Good offensive night for the Athletics, 7 runs on 10 hits. Swing and a miss on 3-2. So Lowry strikes out. A's have struck out 9 times tonight. Gallardo's got 3 strikeouts.
And he's just throwing the ball down the middle of the plate, 3-2. See, Jed went really out of character in that swing on the 90-mile-an-hour fastball. That's one that you've seen him drive, but he opened up a little bit and swung through it.
So here's Healy. Healy takes a strike. See, the home plate umpire in the All-Star game will be Joe West, which is a nice gesture by Major League Baseball. Joe West, earlier this year, became the 3rd umpire in Major League history to work at least 5,000 games. So Joe will be the crew chief, and he'll be calling balls and strikes. As it should be. It's actually still a pretty good ball strike umpire.
Been around that long, got to have some good qualities, and he does.
Nice block by Zunino.
Breaking ball outside, anticipating it, moving nicely. See, I've always thought Zunino, and people say, well, they brought him up too soon and his hitting struggled, but what does he do defensively? He's one of the best catchers in the American League, at least, that we see. Blocking balls, handling a pitching staff. And now he's swinging the bat well, and then they accept it.
Gallardo picks it up. He'll throw to first for the second out. He took a quick glance towards second base, but Davis was going to beat any throw. So Healy's retired, but the A's have a runner in scoring position for Bruce Maxwell. Astros lost tonight in Toronto. The Blue Jays beat the Astros 7-4 in the first of a 4-game series in Toronto. Blue Jays actually beat Lance McCullers, who's been very good this year. But they got 6 runs and 9 hits off McCullers in 4 1/3 innings. So the Astros lead drops down to 15.5 over the Angels in the AL West.
Let's see, the A's have a chance to pull to within 20 now.
Pick up a game, Ray.
That's right. Hey, one at a time. One game at a time.
Maxwell swing and a miss. So an interesting note today where, remember the year the Seattle Mariners won 116 games, right? 2001. They compared where the Mariners were to where the Astros are right now after the same amount of games, and the Mariners had won 4 more games at the same point in the season as far as the amount of games played. 116 wins by the Mariners.
But they didn't win at all.
They did not. That was their chance. Maxwell grounds out. 7th inning stretch time coming up. that group.
How about that?
1933 at Chicago's Comiskey Park, the first ever All-Star game is played. Babe Ruth's third inning two-run homer off Bill Hallahan proves to be the difference as the American League defeats the National League 4-2. 1933. Look at the guy in the suit right in the middle.
Who is
He's
that?
actually not the owner. He's the, well, he was the owner, wasn't he?
Right.
But he's the manager, Connie Mack. That's a good-looking group
That's a
right there.
great group.
Comiskey Park, check it out.
1933. And when they had the game back at Comiskey Park, that's the game in which the first Grand Slam was
right.
hit.
Freddie Lynn,
Freddie Lynn off of
Atlee Hammaker.
the father-in-law of Jan Gomes. Atlee Hammaker. And Jan said his father-in-law does not want to talk about it.
Can't blame him.
I can't blame him either.
So here's Seager against Blackburn. Blackburn pitching into the seventh inning. And for many years, there was two All-Star games.
That's right. That's why several, Mays, Musial, guys like that would have had over 20 All-Star appearances. But as much as they do now for one, I don't know how they could do two. And that was just to raise money for the pension, I think, at the time. Extra money was going to them.
Seager has singled and grounded out to short as he leads things off here for the Mariners in the bottom of the seventh. This one hit down the left field line. Davis hustling over. Maybe. Yes. Nice play by Chris Davis. There's not a lot of room between the foul line and the sidewall. And he reached down and made the backhanded play.
Stuck his glove out as he was approaching the sidewall. Catch the ball, brace yourself. And did that all in one little move. Great catch, great brace. Say hello. And go back to left field. 3-run home run opposite field. And a nice running catch.
So one away. Here's Danny Valencia. Well, you look at the scorecard, Ray, and Blackburn does not have a 3-up, 3-down inning. But again, the double plays have helped him. And still no strikeout.
That's right. Had 3 in his start against the Braves in his first major league start.
Just looking at his minor league starts, Blackburn. His highest pitch total was 100. Also had a start where he went 98, a couple of starts at 96. Right now at 90. So this could be his last inning.
Well, I apologize. He had 4 strikeouts in his first start. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. Yes, Scott Emerson on the bullpen phone as he's approaching that magical number.
Good pitch there, right on the outside corner. So making the call to Garvin Alston, the bullpen coach now for the Athletics. Simeon backhands, throws, and that's the second out. So 2 away here in the 7th inning. What are they? That's Daniel Coulomb. Well, I've talked to A's relievers about the bullpens here in Seattle. They're nice bullpens way out in left field, but you're a little bit like the animal at the zoo because there's people over top of you looking down. There's people right next to you looking at you, and then there's Edgar's bar. And on the other side, there's the party deck out in left center field. There's a lot going on out there. You're surrounded by partying people in the bullpens. 7-1 after 7.
is brought to you by Provident Credit Union Super Reward Checking. We pay you.
Beautiful Seattle, Washington. All good so far for the Athletics. Top of the 8th inning, 7-1 the A's lead. 3 in the first, 4 in the 5th. And Paul Blackburn has been terrific for the A's tonight as he's moving toward his first big league win. Here's Chapman. Chapman, Brugman, and Joyce for the A's. Good swing by Matt Chapman. Mentioned earlier the A's 4-3 against the Mariners so far this year. Remember, they won 3 out of 4 in Oakland early on in mid-April. And then the A's came here in mid-May and lost 2 out of 3. That's generally the way it is. A's come to Seattle, beginning, the middle, and the end. And that's okay with us. Another good swing by Chapman. That was had a little wrinkle to it, but it was right out over the middle of the plate.
Ryan Lavarnway, he is with the club for the time at least while Josh Fegley and Jessica have their second child. You know, Cap, yesterday we showed him as he arrived late about the 5th inning.
Yeah.
And about the same time he arrived, Bruce Maxwell had one off the head.
That's right.
And, you know, we didn't know that for 4 innings. Bob Melvin was really concerned that something might happen to his catcher. Went at Burbank, went to Yale, very intelligent, played in the World Baseball Classic. 9-year Major League veteran. He's been with Boston, Baltimore. But Thing was talking yesterday, found out that he did not have one piece of his own gear here in Oakland yesterday. When he showed up, we saw him in the bullpen. He had somebody's cleats on. He had Bruce Maxwell's extra catcher's mitt, because they said, we'll send the stuff to Seattle. But they said, oops, let's hurry up and get you to Oakland. He had nothing because it was all the way up here. So Lavarnway in the big leagues again with the Athletics, and I think he played on Team Israel this spring.
Yep.
WBC.
So you're right.
They did quite well. See, he's got the little quarterback on his left wrist or left forearm. You're seeing more catchers now with having the information on their left forearm in the case they need to flip it up and use it. The scouting report.
A little bit inside, and Chapman has a leadoff walk.
Well, here we go with King of the Clubhouse. You can help us crown the King of the Clubhouse. A's players have chosen a charity of their choice, and you can donate to some great causes. Just purchase tickets to the Rickey Henderson July the 15th game and use the code of your favorite A. The A's will donate 50% of every ticket sold back to the charity, and the Oakland A's Community Fund will also award donations to the player who sells the most tickets. Visit athletics.com/king, K-I-N-G. They'll continue after this fly ball either drops or is caught.
It's caught.
So /king to see each player tell you why you should help support their great cause. That's athletics.com/king. And you can see the players, and there are a few of them. Sean Manaea is one. I don't think Ryan Lavarnway is in there yet, but who knows? He might be there. Daniel Gossett sitting next to Sean Manaea, young pitcher. Lavarnway had a good spring for the A's. And nice catcher to have in the system in the event something might happen to one of the catchers.
So 1 away. Here's Joyce for his 5th at bat. He's 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored. First pitch from Gallardo in first strike. So Gallardo now out of the bullpen has thrown 52 pitches. He's done that in 2 2/3 innings.
Is a 6-run lead insurmountable to the point that the first baseman's not holding the runner? Am I not seeing something here?
So that's the old unwritten baseball rules.
I'm sorry, 6 runs is nothing.
Since they're unwritten, you just can't really verify anything. So a 6-run lead in the 8th inning.
That's no, not in baseball. I'm sorry. I just find that hard to believe that You got to shift number one, so why wouldn't you put the first baseman holding the runner?
And Chapman's got good speed.
Yes, he does. And I'm just shocked. And
Valencia is like he's kind of half holding him on a little bit, but
right there, Gallardo's not going to throw over.
no, that's true.
And now he's backing up way back. So in essence, what you're saying, we're going to take a base hit away from you, but we don't want you to try to steal a base because that's unwritten. You're not supposed to do it. I don't believe 6 runs is in that category. Not in baseball anymore. I just think that is one that, I mean, 12, 13, yeah, but not 6.
You know what? Then you should take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Bounce to Valencia. He's got it. He fires to second. Good throw there. Back to first. And they got him.
And that's over his head if he's holding the runner on.
So that's a nice play by Danny Valencia. And it's a 3-6-3 double play.
Transmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 7-10-0 for the Athletics. 1-7-0 for the Mariners. And the A's, big home run by Chris Davis, his 24th through the year. That was a 3-run shot. Paul Blackburn's the best story.
Yes, he is.
Lowry with a couple of hits. The A's scored 3 runs in the very first inning. So Blackburn, 7 innings, 1 earned run, 1 walk, no strikeouts, and he's back out there. How about that?
12 ground ball outs.
He's retired 4 in a row.
He's still under his pitches from his.
Under Alonso tried to keep his feet in bounds.
The wide receiver. Hey, it's okay at football, but I don't know it works in baseball. That's kind of where the ball is when it's hit.
Where are his feet in, though? Let's see. No. It's no catch yonder. Sorry.
Left foot on the line. He went out, came back. Can't do that.
0-2 pitch. Dice it toward right. Yankees have a man there. It's Matt Joyce, 1-1.
Tell you what, that's a great curveball. It was close enough that Dyson had to swing, and that's 3 pitches and an out. So he's gotten 2 outs in 4 pitches his last 2 at bats. One by Henniger and Dyson. What a story for Paul Blackburn.
96 pitches. First pitch to Zunino. One stays a little high. Blackburn wearing that number 58 jersey. Same number as Justin Duke sure wore. Simeon ranges to his left, throws across, 2 away. So a little action from Marcus Semien. Blackburn's only walk came with 2 outs. It was Robinson Cano in the 4th inning. Now he's got to figure out Gene Segura. Mariners have 7 hits. Segura has 3 of them. So his batting average up to .351. I think you can see why the Mariners did what they did a couple months ago. They gave Segura a big extension, a 5-year, $70 million extension. Yeah, can't blame him. He would have been a free agent after next year, Gene Segura. Good pitch count for Blackburn. His worst 21 in the 4th, his best 7 in the 3rd. Swing and a miss, a curveball that didn't do a lot. But Segura still missed it.
Just enough of an off speed is that's all you need to do.
It's a good pitch though. Didn't miss by much. Right on the outside part of the plate. It's drilled toward left center field. Davis on the move, not going to get it. Bangs off the wall. Segura is going to go into second, and he is 4 for 4.
It's 4 for 4, but he hasn't scored a run, and Bob Melvin's got to go out and get his pitcher. But what a performance by Paul Blackburn. Throws him a breaking ball, and pretty good hitting by Gene Segura to go down and get it. And difference of Dyson hitting it for a fly ball out, and Segura. Paul Blackburn can be very proud of his pitching performance tonight.
7 2/3 innings for Blackburn. He was terrific. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts.
California is brought to you by Humboldt Redwood. Naturally strong, naturally beautiful Humboldt Redwood arbors, pergolas, and timbers.
7-1, the A's lead the Mariners, bottom of the 8th inning. Well-deserved high fives for Paul Blackburn. So 7 2/3 innings, 8 hits. So now he's going to sit down and see if the A's bullpen can get the final 4 outs. Grounded up the middle. Semien waits for a tough hop. Quick throw to first, and they get Gamble. One pitch. Coulombe does his job. And the Mariners do not score in the bottom of the 8th.
Friday, July the 14th for our annual Bark at the Park event. It's presented by Avenderm Natural and Nylabone. There will be free samples for dogs, a pregame pet parade, and so much more. Purchase your special ticket for this event right now. Space is limited, so act quickly. For information and tickets, visit athletics.com/bark to register today. And they're having it right here tonight.
Yes, they are. Same sponsor, same everything.
That's right. That would be Joe McCarthy's brother-in-law.
Yes, indeed.
James Hyde, who is supposedly here tonight. We didn't see him, though. Married to Joe's sister. And we'll see him Friday the 14th.
Segura, what a play. And Valencia keeps his foot on the bag. So Simeon hit it very hard. Segura went down to his backside to make the play and throws out Simeon. So the numbers for Paul Blackburn: 2 career starts. First one, 6 innings, no earned runs. Tonight, 7 2/3, 1 earned run. 4 strikeouts and 2 walks total. So I think, and the A's came on, kind of said it, Ray, that they wanted to see him again. And that's why Jesse Hunt was sent down to the minor leagues. And Blackburn delivered again. So we don't know when he'll start again, but it'll probably be a little while with the All-Star break coming up.
Well, that's the question, because the A's need to make a move for Saturday, and we've seen them in the past, and it's nothing against whomever might be the person or the odd man out, but if you start thinking about 4 days for the break and coming back after the break, that means the A's can pick the rotation they want for the first 3 games against the Indians starting next Friday, which means that they have a spot on Saturday that they need. They're going to have to do something to bring up a starter since Terrell Cotton is on the disabled list. Marcus Simeon activated tonight. We will see what decision is made.
1-1 pitch to Alonso is outside. I guess another thought would be, is there a young player that's you wouldn't mind seeing play in the minor leagues, because you hate to see somebody miss 4 games. That's a possibility too. We don't know for sure. We'll find out. So 2-2 to Yonder Alonso.
Well, with the 4-day break, it does give you the option as an organization to make some changes. And you know, usually it comes down to pitchers, because if pitchers aren't going to be available, you get a position play to finish out the weekend. And there are options that club can make.
So Yonder Alonso strikes out. 2 quick outs here in the top of the 9th inning. So the A's have struck out 10 times tonight. And here's Chris Davis. Davis 2 strikeouts and then a huge 3-run homer in the 5th inning. And he walked in the 7th, so 1 for 3. But the 1 hit was a thing of beauty.
Okay, you're spot on with your assessment of the Mariners and what the manager Scott Service will be trying to do, and that is to have Giovanni Gallardo finish the game.
Finish it.
And save the bullpen, and you get down 7-0, now 7-1. Be a long man, and Gallardo is capable of doing that, having been a starter. And if you can finish the game, that's 4 1/3 for him, 4 2/3 for Big Leo. And I think about the game 1 of the World Series in '74 when Holtzman went 4 1/3, Raleigh went 4 1/3, and Catfish a 1/3.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. Just finish it up.
Two and 1 the count to Davis. His last hit was Brugman's single in the 6th inning, but they haven't needed it. Tapped slowly toward Seager, the 3rd baseman, bare hands and throws, and a nice play by Seager. Bottom of the 9th coming up. A's 3 outs away from their 3rd consecutive win.
California is brought to you by the 2017 Jeep Cherokee with an EPA estimated 30 highway miles per gallon. By Southwest, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. By AAA, what does your insurance do when it's not doing insurance? It should do more. Go to AAA.com for more details. And by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica.
9th inning, Daniel Colon stays in. He faces Robinson Cano, who lines one to right center for a hit. So Robinson Cano 2 for 3. Keep this in mind, folks. Bob Melvin is sitting on 499 career managerial wins with the A's. He's got a little ways to go to catch Connie Mack.
He's not going to catch him, but you know, Tony Russa's 798 is a possibility.
Bob Melvin also has 992 total wins as a manager, so he's closing in on 1,000. So a couple of nice milestones coming up for the A's manager, which he will get to very soon. Nelson Cruz is 0 for 3. And the count 2-0. Coulombe came in the bottom of the 8th inning, threw 1 pitch and got Ben Gamble. So he'll try to finish this one out. Seager will be next. Drilled foul. Generally, with foul balls, the guy who makes the biggest effort doesn't get it. A little bit inside, and now it's 3-1. Both the Angels and the Rangers off tonight. And they'll open up a series in Texas tomorrow. So they're enjoying an off day in Arlington. And now 3-2 to Cruz.
That is a great pitch to throw 3-1 with a hitter sitting on fastball. Throw a little cutter. And a very good pitch to get the strike.
Big chopper. Chapman has it. Chapman's going to go to first in his throw. A little bit high, but Alonso takes care of it. So that's the first down.
He assumed Nelson Cruz was going to be running hard, and he wasn't, which had a little bit more time than he actually probably realized. Ellie has good enough speed that whenever he starts moving, he can beat out an infield hit, but that time he was not running. Probably upset that he didn't hit a home run on 3-2. But did not work out, and Daniel Coulombe trying to finish it cleanly, very clean.
So here's Seager. Seager's 1 for 3. He singled in the second inning. And he takes a strike from Coulombe. Seager's also grounded out and then hit a fly ball into foul territory down the left field line that Chris Davis made a very nice play on. Seager's going to track it first.
Curveball that likes to throw inside and break over the plate, but unfortunately, you see hitters do that. Instead of moving back out of the way, they move down, and the curveball follows their head.
So Seager seems to be okay at first. That's good news. So 2 on, 1 out. Here's Danny Valencia. Curve and a good one to Valencia. Valencia has hit into a double play, and he is grounded to third and to short.
So you're thinking the Mariners have hit into 3 already, and you'd like to finish the game with
like
a double play and take it to the house. 4th double play of the night. .463 is pretty impressive, but the 8-5 strong throw by Jacob Brugman was very impressive. That was earlier in the game, 3rd inning, after the 2 double plays in the first 2 innings.
Just missed. Mitch Haniger, another right-handed hitter, is in the on-deck circle.
Remember when Valencia was not holding Chapman on the 6-run lead? And here we are in the bottom of the 9th inning, and you're looking at 1 swing of the bat.
And that one is belted to left center. And it is gone.
So there's one swing of the bat, and it's a 3-run game.
So Danny Valencia, a 3-run homer here in the top of the 9th inning.
Well,
88.
Yeah, and you can see the location, and Bob Melvin's going to go to his closer. And that's why, I mean, this is turning out, I mean, it's the American League. You don't have pitchers hitting, and there's a big difference in the league. And Daniel Coulomb is not happy, and it's understandable.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts.
Take over the ballpark for fireworks presented by Xfinity. Out of the Twins-A's game at 6:05, fans can come down to the field for a night of considerable magic and glee. Fireworks full of witches and wizards. There could be more enchanting. For tickets, visit athletics.com/tickets. Not always. Athletics.com/tickets. Not always.
So Danny Valencia with a 3-run homer to make the game a little bit interesting. So Santiago Casilla comes in. It's still not a save situation.
Nope. It is, but it's not.
Statistically, no.
I don't think Bob Melvin, he's going for 500. He doesn't care.
For our well-being, yes,
right.
It is a save. So Haniger is the hitter. Dyson is on deck. If it gets past Dyson, it would be Zunino. Scoop by Lowry, stays with a tough hop, so that's the second out. So it's up to Gerard Dyson if the Mariners want to keep the game going. Casilla would just as soon have it be over with Dyson. Dyson chokes up a lot. First pitch is low.
I think this is where a closer, statistically, it doesn't show up, but you just have to say, I'll take one for the team, try to minimize the number of pitches, so he's available for tomorrow.
That is drilled toward the gap. And that's going to go to the wall, and Dyson can fly. He's going to round second, and he's going to head for third, and he's going to make it standing up. So a 2-out triple for Gerard Dyson to keep the game going.
And you know who's the on-deck circle now after Zunino is the man who's 4 for 4. This ball into the gap, an easy triple for the speedy Dyson. The A's had a 6-run lead entering the top of the 9th inning, or the bottom of the 9th inning. And this is all on Dyson. He does not look at Maniac, his third base coach, and standing up for an easy triple.
Dyson gets his 3rd triple of the year. And here's Zunino, who takes a fastball a little bit inside. Pops away from Maxwell, but not very far.
Nothing's easy, is it?
Nope.
Paul Blackburn, 104 pitches, 6-run lead, 3 outs to go, 4 outs to go, and actually 1 pitch out for Gamble with Daniel Coulomb.
Missed outside, and now it's 2-0. Zunino is 0 for 3. And he swung at a ball and pops it up. Casilla says, I got it. And he takes it himself. 1 on a pop-up, and that will do it. So Casilla comes in. He gets the final 2 outs, and the A's have taken Game 1 of this series. And congratulations to A's manager Bob Melvin, his 500th career win as the Oakland A's manager. So a very nice milestone and a very nice win for the Athletics as Paul Blackburn gets his first big league W. So Bob Melvin is a happy man, and so are the Athletics. Why not? So congratulations to Bob and to Paul Blackburn. 2 hours and 56 minutes. The attendance tonight was 18,368 here at Safeco Field. Final score, the A's win their 3rd consecutive game. Athletics 7, the Mariners 4. Stay tuned for A's Post Game Live. It's presented by State Farm. Brody, Jose, Stu, take it away.